Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of everyone here at PCC, thank you so much for joining us here at Pitt Community College for our Division Academic Day for Public Services and Fine Arts. We are certainly excited to have you here with us today to learn a little bit more about the PSFA division and how we can help you get educated and empowered for success. My name is John Career. I'm the director for the Office of Recruitment and First Year Experience here at PCC. And with us today, we have a couple of representatives from the PSFA division to share a little bit of insight about what it takes in order to be successful in their programs of study. On your registration form, you indicated a major of interest, and we're going to kind of cover a little bit about everything today. So you'll have a chance to hear a little bit about each one of the different programs of study and how they can help you find your pathway, whether it's going to be through our four-year transfer education programs, or if you're completing a career and technical education program and going straight into the workforce. We're providing all kinds of different support for you here at PCC, and we're really excited to get to engage with you in this unique way today and help maybe answer some of your questions. Now, I usually like to start off our presentations with a short introduction to who we are and what we do here at PCC. And I want to introduce you, at least virtually, to our president, Dr. Lawrence Rouse. He could not be here with us for each one of these different sessions, but if he had the availability, I'm certain that he would be here to help greet you and welcome you to PCC and to help encourage you get educated and empowered for success. It is an honor to have him as our president. He is the fifth president in our 60-plus year history. And I think that says a lot about Pitt Community College and the fact that most community colleges have a shelf life for their president between 3 and 5 years. If you can do the math, 60 divided by 5, that means on average, our presidents are sticking around for 10 years or longer each time. So that means consistent leadership, consistent guidance, and consistency in creating the most positive student experience that we can create for you. You'll notice here on the screen, Pitt Community College is a member of the North Carolina Community College System, which is 58 colleges spread across the state of North Carolina. Out of all 58 community colleges, PCC on average ranks about the 6th largest by enrollment out of all 58 community colleges. That usually is an eyebrow raiser. A lot of students really don't think about the fact that Pitt Community College is very much a regional institution, and that we're not only serving students of Pitt County, but students that are in our neighboring counties from across the state. They're making the move to Pitt County in order to get connected to our educational opportunities. Now, even though that number sounds really large, 18,000 students, that seems almost astronomical when you think about a community college, but the average class size here at PCC, if you'll notice, is only about 20 students. So when you're talking about your educational experience with us, you're going to have that one-on-one opportunity to meet your instructors, to meet your advisors. They're going to be on a first name basis with you. You're likely going to be on a first name or at least an informal basis with them. They're going to get to know your story. You'll get to know theirs. And they're going to help get you motivated and guided through your degree programs of study so that by the time that you leave here, you're going to be the most professional and prepared individual as we can possibly make you. The Public Services and Fine Arts Division has its own selection of degrees, certificates, and diplomas. I don't want to take away too much of their thunder today, but we have over 80 for you to choose from over a wide range of topics here at PCC. So if for whatever reason your interests change, that's a good conversation to have with your advisor. They can help guide you to other programs of study so that you can continue that progression and become a successful learner and eventually a graduate. Lastly, I'm always happy to share that we have expanded our online offerings since the pandemic. If there are silver linings that we can pull from that, is that we expanded the number of online classrooms that we provide in a variety of different subjects that we typically or used to not actually have anything available for. So that means that when it comes to your education, it's going to be incredibly flexible around your schedule. If you are working, if you have family obligations, if you have a side hustle that you need to make sure that you're at on a regular basis, our advisors are going to work with you on your availability to make sure that not only are you getting your educational needs met, but also making sure that it fits into when you're available to complete these courses. The courses that I'm referring to are all listed here in the Public Services and Fine Arts Division, everything from advertising and graphic design all the way down to fire rescue training and emergency services management. And again, I don't want to take away too much thunder because they're going to go in depth with you on a couple of these different topics and help ensure that the program of study that you're either interested in or the one that you've selected already, if you're admitted to the college, is the one, in fact, that you want to pursue. This presentation is actually designed for students who are not only just interested in PCC and maybe have not completed the application process yet, but also for students who are admitted to the college. Real quick, let's talk about the application process. If you have not already completed that, it could not be simpler, guys. When we're talking about the application, it is a digital form, of course. All we need for admission are three things. Your residency determination process, which is included underneath the Apply Now link on the PCC homepage. That tells us what you qualify for as far as in-state or out-of-state tuition. Completing that process gives you what we call a residency certification number. You need that for the second piece, which is your application for admission. Your application is through the College Foundation of North Carolina. So if you're a North Carolina high school student watching this, you likely already have a CFNC account, and half the application is already done for you in that regard. All of your information gets imported into the application. And then finally, number three is your transcript. We require at least one official transcript in order to complete your admission to the college. If you're a high school freshman, you're a high school senior, you can request that electronically through CFNC. If you're transferring to us from another institution, you would just need to contact the institution or institutions you previously attended and have those officially sent to us as well. If you are transferring, I do like to point out that in order for us to give you transferable credit, we have to have that official transcript. So any transferable credits you want to make sure that you receive an award for, we need to make sure that we have that in the system for you officially. You may notice here on the screen, there are no SAT minimums or ACT minimums. There is no grade point average minimum listed because we don't require them for your admission to the college. This is part of our effort to try to meet you where you are so that we can help carry you as far as we can possibly go. So we're going to place you in your college level English and math courses based on your high school grade point average or from the transferable course credits that you're bringing into the institution. Typically within about 5 to 7 business days, once we've received those three things, we'll be able to make a determination and send you your admissions information. I wanted to give you a screen cap here of what to look for on the PCC homepage. pittcc.edu is where you'll find the Apply Now link. Just click on that in the upper left-hand corner. And then after the process has been completed, you're going to receive that text message, kind of a small example here on the right-hand side of the screen for you, basically just outlining your student ID information, your selected program of study, and most importantly, the names and contact information of your student success advisor. You have 2 advisors within the Public Services and Fine Arts Division who are actually here with us today to speak with you about the PSFA division. These individuals will be your guide. These are the experts, guys, the ones that know all the ins and outs of these programs of study. And we assign you to one of these advisors based on the first letter of your last name. So anybody with the last name A through L, starts with A through L, you'll be assigned to Mr. Jordan Braswell. Anybody with a last name starting M through Z, you'll be assigned to Miss Lakeisha Peebles. We gave you their telephone numbers as well as their email addresses here on the screen. So if you're on a mobile device, this is a good chance to screen cap this, or if you're taking notes, go ahead and write this information down. It's okay if you forget it, because after you're admitted to the college, Mr. Braswell and Ms. Peebles will be reaching out to you regularly, attempting to contact you and make sure that you have the next steps necessary to complete your transition to college. A big deciding factor in why students end up coming to PCC or college in the first place is the aspect of affordability. Here at PCC, we try to make your college tuition as affordable as we possibly can. It is already offered at an incredibly affordable rate at $76 per credit hour. So we typically give students an estimate anywhere between 12 and 15 credit hours will put you in a full-time student status. So you can estimate, if you're just doing some quick math in your head, a little bit over $900 if you're on the low end of the full-time, and then around $1,200 if you're going up to around 15 credit hours. These estimates, however, do not include things like your student activity fees, your parking fees and technology fees, all those wonderful bells and whistles that come along with being a college student. One other aspect that's not included are the estimations for textbooks and supplies. Depending on what sort of major you plan to pursue when you enroll here at PCC, that can determine how much money you can expect to pay, depending on if you're going into graphic design, where you're going to need to buy some software, or if you're going into fire EMS and you need to buy some protective equipment. But we want to offset those costs for you as much as we possibly can. So this is another chance that if you're on a mobile device, screen cap this. This is incredibly important. Or if you're writing things down, the free application for federal student aid, commonly referred to as the FAFSA. You see it right there on the right-hand side of the screen. 004062 is the school code for Pitt Community College. When you complete this application and enter PCC's school code, the federal government receives that application and notifies us what sort of award money we can have you applicable for. Whereas most students, when they apply, around over half of our students that complete the FAFSA qualify for something known as the Pell Grant. The Pell Grant is designed to help cover all of your costs of tuition and fees and paying for all of those here at PCC. So if you want to make sure that you have the opportunity to receive those funds, please make sure that you put our school code when you're applying for the FAFSA. The FAFSA ties to all three of these different aspects on the left-hand side of the screen. The PCC Foundation annually awards almost close to $400,000 a year in both need and academic-based scholarships. The application window for this year was from February until April. So if you missed out on that, that's okay. We will have the opportunity for you to apply for those next time around. We import information from the FAFSA when we start reviewing you for need-based scholarships. If you're watching this presentation today and you've completed career and college promise courses, if you're a high school senior, let me get your attention on this really quick because this is brand new and a game changer for many of you. The Bulldog Promise Scholarship is specifically designed for career and college promise students that if you have enrolled in 4 classes in high school or have at least 12 credit hours of course credit completed here at PCC, you will be able to continue to take advantage of that free education by applying for the Bulldog Promise Scholarship. The Bulldog Promise Scholarship will cover 2 falls and 2 spring semesters. All of your tuition and fees will be taken care of and paid for. So the free classes that you've been enjoying at the high school level, you'll be able to continue that ride all the way through graduation. And then finally, for the class of 2022, our high school seniors on the call today, want to make sure that you're aware that the governor has extended the long leave commitment grant to you. So you'll have the ability to qualify for anywhere from $700 to $2,800 in additional grant funding to help offset the costs of your tuition and individual needs that you might have. To reiterate, all of these different opportunities tied directly to the FAFSA. So without the FAFSA, we can't really move forward with a whole lot of these different things. So please make sure you apply for that just as soon as you possibly can if you haven't already. Other ways that we want to make sure that you're supported. I know that those of you that are on the call today probably have a subject that you struggle with. I know Mr. Braswell and Ms. Peebles do. I'm going to go ahead and raise my hand. I know that I struggle in math, and probably more than half of you on the call probably say that math is probably your sore subject as well. Whether it's math, English, a science, a foreign language, it doesn't matter. Here at Pitt Community College, you have free tutoring support through what we call our Tutorial and Academic Success Center, commonly referred to as TASC. We love an acronym here in higher education. So if you have an instructor that says, I want to refer you to TASC because you're struggling in this course, that means that they're setting you up for free tutoring services. So I always want to encourage, especially new learners and learners that are planning to come to college. Sometimes there's a little bit of apprehension in asking for help. We're offering that help to you. You don't have to ask for it. We want you to come and take advantage of it. The PCC library is located in the Clifton Everett building right there on Highway 11. Conveniently located behind it is the TASC modules. So if you're in the library, you're doing some research, or maybe you're in a study session, you're having difficulty grasping a key concept in one of your classes, you walk out of the back door of the library and into the front door of that modular unit, and somebody's going to be there waiting for you to assist you with your questions. Inside of the library is the Office of Accessibility. So if you're on the call today and in high school you had a 504 plan, or if you had an IEP, or if you have any kind of documented learning disability or physical disability, the Office of Accessibility wants to hear from you so that they can work to make sure that you have the accommodations you need in order to be successful in your classes. And that ranges from a number of different supports. Either if you have bad eyesight, you want to make sure you're at the front of the classroom. The Office of Accessibility will contact all of your instructors to make sure that you have that accommodation for you. Note taking, voice recorders, all kinds of different aspects that the Office of Accessibility can provide you. I want to make sure you have those available to you when you enroll for the very first time. High school, when students are coming out of high school, they think that, well, I don't really want to have those accommodations when I come to college. That was, high school me. I want to be new. I'm here to tell you that college is going to be the time that you're going to need those supports more than ever. So I want to implore you and encourage you to reach out to them. Pitt Community College was recently recognized by the Center of First Generation Student Success as a first gen forward institution, meaning that students who are first generation have additional layers of support through counseling, tutoring, and even some select scholarship opportunities. First generation students are typically defined as a student who may be the first one in their family to be attending college, or maybe your mom and dad started college but didn't complete. We want to meet with you individually so that we can help make sure that you have the supports and guidance necessary to be successful in your transition and continue success in college. So make sure that you connect with Mr. Braswell or Ms. Peebles if you have questions about how we can best provide for you. And then lastly, I want to put in a plug for new student orientation, because we are very excited to begin welcoming students in person this summer for June and July. So if you're starting in the upcoming fall term, be on the lookout for some dates. So we're going to be inviting you to complete those sessions here very soon. Your My Pitt CC email account, if you're admitted to the college, that's going to be the way that we're going to be communicating those dates and times to you. So if you want to make sure you get one of those early sessions, make sure you get connected early on. Your student experience can really be rounded out by the ways that we try to create traditions of service here at Pitt. So typically speaking, believe it or not, students who are involved in a campus club or an organization, they are much more apt to be successful academically versus a student who doesn't do anything. So we want to make sure you have those same opportunities here at PCC. So we have over 50 different clubs and student organizations for you to choose from. They range from honor and academic societies all the way down. So we do have a little bit of something for everyone's interests here at PCC. We're going to be contacting you after orientation with a form that you can complete to let us know if there's something that stands out and is particularly interesting to you. And then lastly, as we begin to wrap up my section of the presentation today, just wanted to mention that if you are interested in competing athletically, I want to make sure that you are aware that Pitt Community College is a Division II institution. So we are members of the NJCAA Region 10 in women's fast pitch softball, women's volleyball, men's basketball, and men's baseball. All four sports incredibly competitive, competing for championships practically every single season that they're in activity. If for whatever reason you just want to keep active, but you don't want to actively compete at the varsity level, you're still going to have the opportunity for intramural club sports as well as esports. We have a growing esports group here at PCC. So if you're into Fortnite, Call of Duty, all those kinds of different games online, you're going to be able to join our team here as well. Now, while I've been rambling for the past 20 minutes on all the ways that Pitt Community College is a wonderful institution and how we are seeking you out, we are missing one incredibly important aspect of our college community, and that's you watching this presentation today. We need you at Pitt Community College. We want you here with us. We're excited to get to engage with you, just to talk with you about your goals, your dreams, the plans that you have for yourself in the future so that we can help you meet those goals. Learn a little bit more about PCC by engaging with us through our social media channels. We have the big four right here on the screen for you. Very easy to find us, just putting in a keyword search for you. It'd be a really great aspect for your college journey to learn more about the stories of the students that are currently here. So all of these different channels will provide you an opportunity to see inside the student experience a little bit more. So to give you some more color and feel to the student experience is we're going to pass the baton over to our student success advisors, the experts when it comes to public services and fine arts, Mr. Jordan Braswell, Ms. Lakeisha Peebles. They're here with us today to talk to you about this division and all the different programs we provide. So I will pass the ball to Mr. Jordan Braswell. He's going to kind of take off with you and share a little bit about the department.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everybody. We're so glad to have you join us this afternoon. to talk about public services and fine arts, as well as some information that you're needing to know in order to be successful in a major in the public services and fine arts division. I also have with me Ms. Lakeisha Peebles, who is also a student success advisor. This first slide that you see is a list of folks who are in our division that are part of the administration, as well as you can see that we have some department chairs who are in charge of the programs that you would be interested in. And the reason why we provide this list of names to you is so that you will know who to reach out to if you have a question about your major, any particular classes, or experience in any job fields. These lists of names are a good source to keep on hand whenever you have a question about a particular career option or goal in mind. And so if you're interested in connecting with any of these folks in our division, please let me know and I'll be glad to connect you with them. And now I'm going to pass the baton over to Ms. Lakeisha Peebles as she starts talking about our programs that we offer. Ms. Peebles, your microphone is not on.
Well, let's try this again. Hello to everyone, and I will start off discussing each program in public service and fine arts. Some of the programs start off as advertising and graphic design. Career opportunities are graphic design studios, advertising agencies, printing companies, newspapers, business with in-house graphics operation. We also have associate in fine arts. We have visual arts and music in that particular program. Starting with visual arts, we have photograph, sculpture, digital artist, art gallery and museum designer, illustrator, metalsmith and jeweler, wide variety of manufacturing and industries. We also have the music program, and some of the job careers are music educator, music therapist, private music instructor, music industry, recording business, church music leader. Our criminal justice technology program, the career opportunities are police officer, deputy, sheriff, county detention officer, highway patrol, intensive probation, parole surveillance officer, correctional officer, loss prevention specialist. The education and child development, we have transfer options, associates in arts and teacher preparation, associates in arts and teacher preparation, in science and teacher preparation, associates in arts in early childhood education, birth through kindergarten, associates in arts in early childhood education, non-teaching administration. We have the non-transfer options, which is just a 2-year degree if you don't want to transfer to a university, and that's the early childhood education career track. We have the 1-year education, the early college education track as well. And then we have the early childhood education certificates, early childhood administration, infant and toddler, school age, special education, and autism. The career opportunities for this program is child development and child care programs, preschools, public and private schools, recreational centers, Head Start programs, school age programs, public elementary, middle, and high school programs. The human service technology, we also have the general human service technology. We have the gerontology, which means elderly, working with elderly people. And then we have the substance abuse. Those career opportunities are mental health, child care, family services, social services, rehabilitation, substance abuse, developmental centers, hospitals, public health, corrections, educational agencies. And one of the last programs that we are communicating about on this slide would be paralegal technology. And those career opportunities are private law firms, corporate legal departments, government legal departments, county courthouse, public interest nonprofits, lending institutions, public benefit agencies, title insurance companies, Regulatory Compliance Office, Contract Negotiation and Management Organization, Public and Private Investigation. And I will send, Jordan, you can take over from here to end it.
And we thank y'all for joining us this afternoon, and we hope that some of the list of careers that we've offered to you under the majors will pique your interest. And if you have any questions about those majors, please feel free to reach out to either Ms. Peebles or I. We'd be glad to talk with you about those.
All right, so this is a great time to go ahead and open up the chat box. So if anybody that's in live attendance, if you all have any questions about any one of those programs of study that Mr. Braswell or Ms. Peebles just discussed, you're welcome to go ahead and put those questions in the box and we'll try to answer those live. I will ask in preparation while we wait for those questions to come through, can we get a little bit more information about the Associate in Fine Arts and how that kind of relates to the university transfer programs? Because many of the programs in the PSFA division, they are 2-year degrees designed to take you straight to work. But how is the Associate in Fine Arts different?
Right. So the Fine Arts program that we do have here at PCC is a fine arts program that is transferable to any of the public 4-year institutions that have a Bachelor's in Fine Arts program. And as you can see on the slide that we have visual arts and music. And so if you're interested in perhaps maybe owning a business that is primarily working with art, or maybe being an art educator, and you're needing a 4-year degree to go into that career field, visual arts is the right pathway for you. And there's also other things that you can consider, such as photographers. We've had many graduates that have gone into professional photography from our visual arts program. And then we also offer some classes that touch on jewelry making, sculpting, as well as some digital art. I will add one note on the visual arts is that if you are a hands-on person and you love to be up and interactive, visual arts is for you. A lot of people ask us, what is the difference between visual arts and graphic design? Graphic design is basically working with a computer and with software. And so if you like to sit and not be moving around a lot, then maybe graphic design is something that you could consider. But touching a little bit about the music degree, we also offer this track as well for programs at 4-year institutions that offer a Bachelor's in Fine Arts and Music. And we've had many students who are interested in becoming a music teacher in the high school, public schools, elementary schools, as well as music therapy. And we've even had some students who are now being employed at various churches and religious organizations performing the music there.
And that dovetails very nicely, Mr. Braswell, into my next question about the education and child development, because we recently had a brand new agreement get announced just this past year in regards to students that wish to transfer to a 4-year institution and become an educator. Can you touch on that just briefly?
Yes. So if you are interested in teaching some of the ones that are not, forget the terminology here, the extracurricular activities, if you're interested in teaching some of the main subjects like math or science or history or social studies, then our teacher's prep degree is the track or the pathway that you might want to consider. You may have a question about what is the difference between associate in arts and associate in science. Associate in arts is more of those subjects such as English, history, literature. If you're interested in those types of subjects, you might want to consider the associate in arts. But if you're interested in teaching math or science and transferring to a 4-year program at one of our public 4-year institutions, and you're wanting to become a science or a math teacher, then the associate in science track is going to help you to achieve that goal. And both of those degree options have different curriculum standards. So your associate science one is going to offer more math and science versus your associate in arts is going to offer more history, English, and that sort of class structure.
Good deal. All right. So thank you for that, Mr. Braswell. We did have a question come through asking about a little bit about wanting some more detail about advertising and graphic design. What kinds of classes can a student expect to complete if they choose to go into advertising and graphic design?
So we do know that it's very important your first year in advertising and graphic design to have the basic foundations of drawing and illustration, as well as typography. And so those first year foundational courses are very important, not only because your second semester and your first summer semesters follow on those courses, they build on top of each other. And so once you're done into the second year of your program, you're going to be doing a lot more hands-on software building and using graphic software to build software or images, I should say. And we've had some that will go and do an internship with a local marketing company or with our local newspaper and with our businesses as well.
Very good. Thank you. I'm going to give our participants a couple more seconds to put in any kind of questions that they have about the admissions process, about the division itself. So as we wrap up today, I wanted to give you another chance, just in case you didn't catch it the first time around, our contact information, pccrecruitment@my.pittcc.edu. That's how you're going to get connected with us. We can help guide you through the admissions and financial aid processes if you have any questions. Be on the lookout for FAFSA Day that's coming up on April the 23rd, 2022. We'd love to have you out here on campus to come and get assistance if you have any questions about completing the financial aid application. I want to give you a special thanks to Ms. Peebles and Mr. Braswell for your time this afternoon. Thank you both so much for giving your insights and sharing your knowledge about the inner workings of these programs of study. And we cannot wait to connect with you. We're really looking forward to working with you and helping out in your transition to Pitt Community College. Take care.